Hello, code lovers, and welcome. In this lesson, we are going to explore one of the most essential and foundational parts of JavaScript objects. Understanding objects will open up a whole new world of possibilities for you. So, to start, let's talk about why we need objects. Imagine you are building a social media application. You need to store information about the user, their username, their email, the year they were born, and whether they are currently logged in or not. Using what we know so far, we might try to use an array. Could look something like this. So I write const user array equals to square brackets. And for index 0, I write single quote coding hero, comma, index 1, single quote hero at email.com, comma, 1998, comma, true, semicolon. Now this array holds the data, but it's very fragile. If I ask you what does 1998 represent, you only know it's the birth year because you remember its position. What does true mean? It means the user is logged in, but the data itself doesn't tell us that. We have to memorize the order. This creates a big problem. What if later we decide to add more data, like the user's city? If you add it in the wrong place, our entire code that relies on that order will break. This is not a reliable way to structure data. We need a better way. We need a way to group related data together and give each piece of data a clear, descriptive label. And that is exactly why we have objects. An object is like a container where we can store information in key value pairs. It's like a real world ID card for our user, where each piece of information has a clear label next to it. So let's transform that messy array into a clean and practical user profile object. To create an object, we use curly braces. This is called the object literal syntax. It's simple and you will use it all the time. So I start writing const user profile equals to, and here I open up a set of curly braces, okay? And I write username, colon, and single quote, coding hero. And at the end, I put comma. Here, the username is the key, and coding hero is its value. So it's key value per. You need a key and its value. Okay. Next, email, colon, single quote, hero at email.com. And at the end, comma. And again, email is the key, and hero at email.com is its value. You see, it's key value per again. And next, birth year, colon, 1998, comma, is logged in, colon, false. And finally, posts, colon, square brackets. For index 0, I write, my first day learning JS. And next, objects are cool. Okay. And look at it. Look how much better that is. And now it's perfectly clear what each piece of data represents. These keys like username, email, birth year, is logged in, and posts are also called properties of the object. And as you can see, an object can hold any type of data, even an array like our posts property. You see? And another important thing is you should not use semicolon to separate your properties. This will cause an error. Okay? You should separate them by commas. Okay? And the best part is the order in which we write these properties doesn't matter for accessing them because we will use their names. Great, we have our user profile. Now, how do we get information out of it or change it? There are two simple ways. First is dot notation. The most common and easiest way is dot notation. You just write the object's name, a dot, and the property's name. So let's see it. Console.log user profile dot username semicolon. And if I run it, yeah, you see coding hero. It's clean and very readable. Let's get the email too. So console.log user profile dot email semicolon. And if I run it, yeah, we get this properties value out of the object. The second way is bracket notation. Looks similar to arrays, but we put the property name as a string inside the brackets. That's very important, as a string. Okay, so let's see it. Console.log user profile. Instead of dot notation, I write square brackets here. And to access username, I put it inside a string. So single quote, username, and semicolon. And if I run it, yeah, we get the exact same result. So why do we need this second way? Bracket notation has a special superpower. You can use a variable or an expression inside the brackets. This thing I said it's not possible with dot notation. So, for example, imagine you have a form on a website and you want to look up a value from the user profile based on the name of the form field the user just filled out. So let's see it. Const put field equals to single quote email semicolon. Next, console.log user profile and square brackets input field semicolon. See that? The variable input field contains the string email. So JavaScript looks for the email property on our object. You cannot do this with dot notation. If you wrote user profile dot input field, JavaScript will look for a property literally named input field, which doesn't exist. So the rule is simple. When you know the exact property name, use dot notation. It's cleaner. When the property name is stored in a variable or needs to be calculated, you must use bracket notation. The next thing is adding and changing properties. Updating an object is just as easy. Let's say our user wants to change their username. So I write user profile dot username equals to JavaScript master semicolon. And if I write console.log user profile.username semicolon, and if I run it, yeah, and just like that, it's updated. We can also add completely new properties. Let's add the user's city. I write user profile.city equals to single quote New York semicolon, and console.log user profile semicolon. And if I run it, now if you look at the whole object, you'll see the new city property is there. Next thing is we can make objects perform actions, methods. Right now, our object just holds data. But what if we want our object to do things? For example, a user should be able to log in or log out. We can add functions to our objects, And when a function is a property of an object, we call it a method. Methods are actions the object can perform. Let me comment these things out and paste my object here again. Okay. Let's add login and logout methods to our user profile. So to add my login method, I write login colon function set of parentheses set of curly braces, and I write this dot is logged in equals to true semicolon, and console.log welcome back coding hero semicolon. And for the next method, again I put comma here and write log out colon function set of parentheses set of curly braces, and this that is logged in equals to false semicolon, and console.log you have been logged out semicolon. Let's look at this closely. We've added a login method. Inside it, you see this dot is logged in equals to true. The this keyword is very important. It refers to the object that the method is being called on. So inside the login method, this is the user profile object itself. So this that is logged in is the same as writing user profile that is logged in. Using this makes our methods reusable and powerful. So to call a method, we use dot notation followed by parentheses to run the function. So I write console.log backticks logged in before colon $, curly braces, user profile dot is logged in semicolon. Next, I want to call the login method on user profile object. So I write user profile dot login and set of parentheses semicolon. And next, console.log backticks logged in after colon $, curly braces, user profile dot is logged in semicolon. And if I run it, you see that is logged in changed from false to true. Our object performed an action on itself. Let's use logout method. So I copy all these codes and paste here. I change user profile dot log in to log out. Okay. And if I run it, yeah, you see that it's logged in again, changed from true to false. Methods are very useful. They do actions over their mother object and change its behavior or change some properties or do some actions. They are great. Let's add one more method to calculate the user's age. I will use the birth year property we already have. And the thing is, we haven't learned how to get current date automatically in JavaScript yet. So for our calculation, we just pretend the current year is 2025, okay? So I write this function, calculateAge, colon, function, set of parentheses, and set of curly braces, const current year equals to 2025 semicolon. This dot age equals to current year minus this dot birth year semicolon, and return this dot age semicolon. You see, we use this to access the object itself. When we say this.bezier, it means user profile object.bezier. When we say this.age, it means user profile.age equals to current year minus this.bezier. Now you get it. When you want to access a property on mother object itself, you have to use this. You just can't simply say username or bezier without this. It's just not right. You have to write that this keyword. It's so important. Another thing is, can we use arrow functions here? Nope, you can't do this because arrow functions, they don't have this keyword. So you have to always use function declarations here. Now this method is smart. It calculates the age, creates a new property on the object called age to store the result, and then returns it. This way, we only have to calculate it once. Let's call it. Alright, console.log backticks user age is colon $ curly braces user profile dot calculate age and set of parentheses semicolon. And if I run it, yeah, it returns the correct age. And now the age property exists on our object, so we can get it directly next time without recalculating it. Okay, so I write console.log user profile dot age semicolon. And if I run it, yeah, this age property wasn't there before we call this method. But after calling it, it's just there. And you can use it afterwards. Perfect. This is a very efficient way to handle calculated data. To finish our lesson, let's create a final method called getSummary. It should use the object's properties and other methods to create a summary string about the user. I want you to create a method that returns this string. User coding hero is 27 years old and has 2 posts. To do this, you will need to create a getSummary method on the user profile object. Inside it, use this to get the username. You'll need to call this.calculateAge to get the age. And to get the number of posts, you'll need to get the length of the posts array using this.posts.length. Now, pause the video and give it a try. Okay, ready for the solution? Here it is. So I add getSummary, colon, function, and set of parentheses and set of curly braces, return, backticks, user, $ curly braces, this.username. Next is $ curly braces again, this.calculateAge, set of parentheses, years old and has $ curly braces, this.posts to access the posts property, and next .length posts semicolon. Okay, now let's call our amazing new method. Alright, console.log user profile dot get summary and set of parentheses semicolon. And if I run it, yeah, you should see the complete dynamic summary string in your console. Today you have learned the why and how of JavaScript objects. You learn how to create them, access their data, and give them methods to perform actions. This is a huge step in your journey as a developer. Excellent work. Keep experimenting with objects. And guys, before you leave, please subscribe. And I'll see you in the next lesson.